Welcome to this presentation on PRINCE2 process model. My name is Ashish and I am doing this presentation for Projecting IT. In this presentation, we will look at how the 7 processes of PRINCE2 are used to deliver a project. Recall that the projects are temporary and unique. Every project must have a start and a finish date. Unless we have an end date, it won't be a project. PRINCE2 recommends we do projects in stages, that is one management stage at a time. Minimum, there should be 2 management stages, initiation and execution. Initiation is for planning. What is this project about? Planning the resources, planning the cost, time scales, and the governance mechanisms for the project. And during execution, the teams will do the work and will create specialist products of the project. And when everything is over, we hand over the project to the operations and support team. If projects are complex and risky, we divide projects into more management stages. The length and size of each management stage will depend upon the risk and complexity involved on that project. This is managed by stages principle of PRINCE2. The milestones here are the go-no-go point at which the project board will review the project to see whether the project is justified to continue. The project board provides management control and direction. The project board is represented by executive who provides funding to the project, senior user who provides requirements, and the senior supplier who provides resources. The project manager reports to the project board. Before we can start the initiation stage, we do feasibility study of the project. You can call it startup or pre-project. This is where we investigate the reasons for doing the project, that is why this project is required. And then the project board will look at if the project is justified to go to the next stage. In this case, the initiation stage. The project board provides the project manager with resources to carry out the work of planning. During initiation stage, the project manager will identify why and how this project work can be done. That is, explore the details of reasons, solutions, resources, costing, timescales, and how the project reporting and communication will take place. As part of initiation, detailed plans are produced and presented to the project board. The project board will check if we have enough plans in place and if we can manage the risks and changes during the project. The project board will approve the initiation stage and then only will start the execution of the project. The execution will be done in one management stage at a time. The project manager will plan each management stage, get the plan approved from the project board, get the work done by the teams, and keep the project board informed. When all the work of the stage is completed, the project manager will get the project board to review and assess the status of the project. The project board will check the business case and if the project continues to remain justified. The project board will also approve the plan for the next stage. Once the plan and the stage is approved, the project manager will start the work of the stage 3. In this case, stage 3 is also the last stage of the project, which means apart from doing all the work of the project manager will also carry out the work for closure of the project, which will involve handing over the products to the operations and support team. Once the project manager has completed all the work of stage 3 and the closure activities, the project manager will seek approval to close the project. Only after the board has approved the project, the closure can be done. To do all this work, PRINCE2 provides us with 7 processes. Each process has a purpose, objectives, and defined activities. Each process creates a defined output called as management products in PRINCE2. For each of the management product, the PRINCE2 manual offers a template in Appendix A. The examples of such outputs are business case, benefits review plan, risk registers, issue registers, quality register, reports, and so on. These are all management products which are used to manage and control the delivery of the project. Some of these are created by the team manager and rest of them are created by the project manager. The project board does not create products but review and approve these products. The processes are written for project board, project manager, and team manager. The project board uses directing a project process. The team manager uses managing product delivery process, and all other processes are used by the project manager. Each process defines what work needs to be done here, what outputs will be created, which templates can be used to create those outputs, who will review those outputs, and who will approve those outputs. The 7 principles of PRINCE2 are embedded in the processes. So when you follow the processes, you are actually supporting those principles. To carry out the work defined in the processes, you need to have a background knowledge of project management, and that's what themes do. The 7 themes provides you with enough information so that you can carry out the work defined in the processes. You can tailor the processes and you can tailor the outputs. You can tailor them to suit the project environment. Before we start the process journey, we will just quickly look at the roles. We have 3 levels of management: the project board, the project manager, and the team manager. The project board is responsible for providing direction and management control. The milestones shown here are the toll gates or stage gates where the project board takes control of the project to see whether the project should continue. The project board is not involved on a day-to-day basis. They delegate the day-to-day management to the project manager, who is responsible for managing the project, which means the project manager will make plans, will provide reports to the project board, will delegate work to the team manager, will monitor the progress of each stage, and will take corrective actions to keep the stage in control and within targets. The team manager is responsible for creating the actual products of the project. For example, if I am doing calendar, all the products that make up a calendar are created by the teams. Managing product delivery defines the team's work. However, it defines how the team will interact and interface with the project manager and with other teams. Corporate or program management sits above the project board, but they are not involved in the project decision making. They set controls at the project level and they delegate the project to the board. They commission the project and sit outside the project. The projects are triggered by the corporate or program management and they provide a project mandate. A mandate provides us with the terms of reference. It tells the objectives of the project, or in a simplest form can provide the problem statement. The mandate provided by the corporate or program management triggers the first process of PRINCE2, which is starting up a project. Starting up a project defines the work that needs to be done before a project goes into initiation. Starting up a project prevents poorly conceived projects from getting initiated. As I said, each process has an input, list of activities, and outputs. The input to the starting up a project is a mandate provided by corporate. And the output is a project brief, which defines why the project is required and lays solid foundation to get into initiation. During starting up a project, investigation is done to identify the reasons and the possible solutions and the recommended solution. High-level scope and requirements are defined. To do this, we need people. So we appoint the project executive who is responsible for funding the project and also is the chairperson of the project board. We form the project team that includes the project board members like senior user, senior supplier, and the project manager to do all the work during pre-project and initiation. If required, we will appoint the team manager. The project board also decides whether they need to use a project assurance. Starting up a project, we'll appoint the team, that is the project management team, will define the high-level scope and requirements, will define the high-level quality expectations, the project approach, that is how the project work can be done, whether internal suppliers, resources can be used, or we need external supplier or resources. Starting up a project, we'll put up a business case that defines the purpose of doing this project. The business case defines the reasons, the solutions, the time scale, cost, benefit, and major risks that can affect the viability of the project. All this information is captured in the project brief. Once the project brief is available, the project manager will go to the project board. Recall that the project board comprises of executive, senior user, and senior supplier. The project board uses directing a project process. Directing a project process tells the project board about the activities they are supposed to do during the project. The board activities occurs usually at the end of each stage when the project can be reviewed and decisions about the project can be taken. Apart from that, they also provide ad hoc direction to the project manager when there are exception situations. So the project board goes to the project board. The project manager goes to the project board and submits the project brief. The project board will check why this project is required, what needs to be done, at what cost, and the time scales. The project board will check if we have necessary funding arrangements in place and whether the project is viable and if the benefits are enough. They will commit resources to go into initiation stage. The project manager also presents them with the plan for the next stage, in this case the initiation stage plan. Only after the board has approved we can move into initiation. At this time, the board may ask the project manager to proceed with initiation. They may ask the project manager to do some more investigation if more data is required to decide whether to go into initiation, or the project board may ask to stop and not to start initiation. As part of initiation, the project manager will use initiating a project process to create plans for delivering the project. Initiating a project process involves activities to understand how the work of this project will be done. As part of initiation, the project manager will use teams and will use company resources such as knowledge base, templates, processes to prepare project initiation documentation, also called as PID. The PID tells how this project is being managed. As part of planning, the project manager plans for the detailed requirements, the list of deliverables, the scope of the project, and then identifies the resources required to do the work. The efforts at high level are determined and the budgets are also identified. Apart from that, the project manager will determine the risks that will affect the project objectives and what we can do about them. A risk register is created to describe all the risks and the mitigation actions. Controls are created for escalation and reporting, and also about how changes will be managed and controlled. How the documentation will be version controlled and securely stored is also defined as part of initiation. And finally, how communication takes place during the project is also described. All of this goes into the PID. A benefits review plan is created to describe how the project benefits will be confirmed, measured, when and by whom. When the project manager is ready with the PID and the benefits review plan, the project manager starts planning for the next stage. PRINCE2 recommends manage by stages. So we have a project plan which provides high-level roadmap, shows us the number of stages and the start date, end date of each stage, apart from the overall budgets and high-level scope. Whereas the stage level plans tells us what's happening immediately next, which teams, and the details about each stage. It is recommended that stage plans are created just in time, that is, before the stage is about to begin. That way the plans are realistic because the timelines are visible and the resource availability is also accurate. The stage plans are prepared as part of managing a stage boundary process, which is used by the project manager. Managing stage boundary process happens before a stage starts and after the stage is over. It can also be done towards the end of the stage, except for the final stage, because at the end of the last stage we don't want to close the stage, but we want to close the entire project. As part of managing a stage boundary here, the project manager creates plan for the stage 2. When ready with the PID and the plan for stage 2, the project manager goes to the board. Board will check the resources required by the project, the control and governance arrangements, the communication, the reporting, how the changes will be managed, how risks will be managed. They will review the strategies and controls for running the project. They can consult the corporate or program management and set tolerances at project level which are directed by the corporate. The project board will also approve the plan for stage 2 and will set tolerances for the 6 areas, that is scope, time, cost, quality, risk and benefits. Once the project board has approved the stage plan, the project manager will begin execution of stage 2. Controlling a stage process defines the work of the project manager on a day-to-day basis. The process defines once the stage starts till the end of the stage, what is the job of a project manager? It defines how the project manager will assign work to the teams, will monitor the progress of teams, will report the progress of the stage to the project board. It also defines the monitoring and controlling of risks and issues. And if the stage 2 is exceeding tolerances, then raising exceptions to the project board. Project manager's job is to deliver the stage 2 within agreed tolerances with the project board, take corrective and preventive actions, and ensure the products of the stage 2 are delivered. The controlling a stage process defines how the work should be assigned to the team manager. The team manager uses managing product delivery process and interfaces only with the project manager. As part of controlling a stage, project manager assigns a work package to the team manager. The work package defines the terms of agreement between the project manager and the team manager. The work package also defines the scope of work, the products to be created, the constraints, the development interfaces, like which other teams the team manager will have to coordinate with, the tolerances for the work package, that is to what extent the team manager can take corrective actions and make decisions without having to go to the project manager, and also how the reporting should be done. The work package is accepted by the team manager. The team manager is expected to raise concerns and risks in delivering the work package and negotiate with the project manager if the targets are not realistic. Upon receiving the work package, the team manager, as part of managing product delivery process, will create team plans that shows the tasks of the team, the resources allocated to the tasks, the efforts, the timelines, and the cost, and then consult with the project manager and begin delivery of products. Team manager has a couple of activities: accept the work package, make the team plans, get the teams to focus on delivering products, and as products are ready, get them quality checked, reviewed, tested, and obtain sign-off from those recommended by the project manager. The team manager is expected to keep the project manager informed about the status of work package on a regular basis. This is achieved using checkpoint report, which is like a status report that is sent on an agreed basis. If the work package tolerances are forecast to exceed, the team manager raises an issue to the project manager to alert the project manager about a possible deviation, and the project manager will advise what to do next to the team manager. Just like team manager keeps the project manager informed, the project manager will keep the project board informed on a regular basis using highlight report. A highlight report tells the project board what we have done since last reporting period, what are we doing next, the status of the stage, the status of tolerances, status of risks and issues. The lessons learned during the period are also conveyed to the project board. The project board will inform the appropriate authorities within the organization with those lessons so that they can help improve the method for managing projects. The project manager, as part of controlling a stage, will also control scope and ensure that ad hoc scope creep doesn't happen. Project manager will receive the change request, will use issue register to track all issues identified during the stage, and will monitor and control risks using the risk register. As and when quality activities are completed, the quality register is updated and reviewed to see how we are completing the quality activities and the trends in quality. If stage 2 tolerance is forecast to exceed, the project manager will go to the project board using exception report. The exception report informs the project board about a possible deviation in tolerance. The project board can advise the project manager if the tolerances are exceeding at the stage level but do not affect the tolerances at project level. But if the tolerances are exceeding at the project level, the board will alert the corporate, who only can make a decision. If the exception is accepted, the board can ask the project manager to prepare an exception plan which will replace either the current stage plan or the project plan, that is, whichever is in exception. So when the stage 2 is about to finish or has completed, the project manager will use managing a stage boundary process to review how the current stage was completed, whether the all work that was agreed completed, the planned versus actual efforts, timescale and cost. The project manager will create a report called as end stage report to provide the status of the project. The end stage report will help the board to decide what to do next with the project and how the project is progressing. If any benefits have been achieved, these are also reported using end stage report. Project manager will review the bid to see how the strategies and controls are working and if they need to be updated. If any people are not required or resources can be released, the project manager will release them and will update the organization structure. The business case is reviewed and updated by the project manager, and the project plan is updated and a stage 3 plan is created. The project manager then goes to the project board, who will check the end stage report, the next stage plan and the business case. Upon approval from the project board, we move to the next stage. We keep continuing the same, that is using controlling a stage and managing product delivery to do all stage work. In this example, we have 3 management stages. Stage 1 for initiation, stage stage 2 for execution of the second stage, stage 3 for the third one, and stage 3 is also the final one. It is possible that you may have more stages. For each stage, we use the same pattern. And when you reach the last stage, at the end of stage, the final stage, we also close the project. How the project should be closed, what handovers, what sign-offs are required is planned as part of planning the stage 3. That is, before the final stage begins, when the project manager uses managing a stage boundary process, the project manager prepares stage 3 plan and also mentions how the closure activities will be done. So when the end project is approaching, the project manager will use closing a project. And closing a project describes the work that needs to be done to close the project in a controlled manner. This includes obtaining sign-offs, updating the project plan, ensuring all items defined in the scope are completed, notifying the company about releasing the resources, handing over the products, handing over the knowledge to the operations team, transferring ownership to the operations team, and also handing over the benefits review plan. Recall that the benefits review plan describes how the post-project benefits review will be conducted. It describes the unrealized benefits of the project and also the measurement activities to identify how the product performed in the operational life cycle. Lessons learned are also described using lessons report. The team performance, the supplier performance is also assessed. The project manager creates end project report to describe the evaluation of the project. The evaluation is done against the baseline bid, that is the original one created during initiation. The reasons for deviation are analyzed and lessons are learned and suggested to improve the method in the future projects. Once all work of closure are completed, the project manager goes to the project board and sends them a draft closure notification. The project board will check if all the work has been completed, sign-offs are obtained, and then will allow the project manager to close the project. If any defined work was not completed or if there are any outstanding actions or unfinished business, then they are handed over to the operations using follow-on action recommendations. For example, open risks or open issues. All the registers and documents are archived except for the benefits review plan. Once the board has approved, the project is closed. To summarize, finally, we have 7 processes in PRINCE2. Each process has a purpose, objectives, activities, and defined outputs. The 7 processes are starting up a project, initiating a project, directing a project, controlling a stage, managing product delivery, managing a stage boundary, and closing a project. Directing a project process defines the work for the project board. Managing product delivery defines the work for the team manager, and all the remaining processes defines the work of a project manager. The processes defines the chronology. To do the work defined in the processes, we use themes. And when we go and execute these processes, we also apply the 7 principles of PRINCE2. That's all in this session. Thank you.